Well, you've heard the saying that every dog has its day. Well, a Stettler woman is making sure dozens of them have many more days. This after finding out communities in the Northwest Territories are shooting them to control the population. Andrew Ng has the story.
Adrienne Copeland says this was her calling, and it couldn't have come any sooner.
It's only a certain amount of time before the dog finds a not so great place, and we need to get them out of there. They just need some help.
Copeland found out communities in the north shoot dogs to keep the population from getting out of hand. Not just that, there is a bounty of $100 on each dog.
One community had 110 people was the population, and they had over 70 dogs. So it's the only way that they know how.
Vet services are few and far between in those isolated communities. The Northwest Territories SPCA says it could cost at least $25,000 to operate one mobile clinic.
Honestly, I think that the people of the communities want to do right by the dogs. It's just that they're in a situation that it's out of control and they don't know what to do. And then there's disease to consider and health and safety of packing dogs and attacks and things like that.
For generations, communities in the Northwest Territories have only known one way of controlling the stray dog population, but there are signs that things are turning around.
I've been working with this community for a couple of years now, so in the last couple of weeks we finally got to a point where they said, okay, no more dogs will be shot.
That brings relief to Copeland. So far, she runs the only rescue service in Alberta, taking in the pups from the north. And she's expecting dozens more.
They have over 40 puppies, 20 adults, and 3 pregnant mamas that need to get out of there, from my understanding, in the next 2 weeks, or they have the risk of being shot.
These puppies were snatched up by potential adopters within days of arriving in Alberta. But there will be plenty more looking for a good home. Andrew Ng, City News.
And indeed, the Animal Haven Rescue League is looking for help with that next batch of dogs set to come in. Anyone interested in fostering or adopting can visit the website at animalhavenrescue.webs.com, or you can look them up on Facebook.
Edmonton charities are struggling this Christmas season. Organizations are calling these desperate times as they try to meet fundraising goals. Andrew Ng has the story.
The Lung Association's Christmas Seals campaign aimed to raise $900,000 this year. With 2 weeks to go, it's still $650,000 short of that target.
For us, thinking of cutting any of our programs or services is absolutely frightening, because in essence, you could service about 600,000 people a year.
Charities noticed a drop in donations after the most recent recession, but they can't figure out if that's still a factor today. The Lung Association was much closer to its goal last year.
What's really interesting is we just don't know what's happened this year and what's different since the market crashed in 2008.
Other charities aren't having much luck either. At Santa's Anonymous, volunteers are busy sorting toys for 25,000 families. The warehouse looks full, but they're only halfway to their goal.
Usually by now we would be fairly close to the goal a week before Christmas, but this last year as well as this year, we found that it's a struggle to get there.
Donations have also been coming in very slowly for the Salvation Army's Christmas Kettle campaign. It remains far from its target too, having raised just a quarter of its $450,000 goal. The Edmonton Food Bank also has lofty goals this Christmas season. A lot of their donations are expected to come from right here on Candy Cane Lane.
This element of our Christmas and festive campaign is usually about 10% of our overall Christmas campaign. So our goal this year for our Christmas campaign is 225,000 kilograms of food.
It's tough out there right now for everybody. We realize that there's other charities and not-for-profits struggling. If you choose not to support Santa's, then support another charity and support them not only at Christmas but do it year-round.
Andrew Ng, City News.
A young couple from Ontario is stranded in our city. They have nothing against Edmonton, but a life-changing tragedy has them aching to get home. One of them was paralyzed. The problem is that it will cost them thousands of dollars to make it happen. Andrew Ng has more.
All on how you look at it.
Like many young Canadians, Christine Connolly and Ryan Smith left Ontario and headed west to find work. They didn't think they'd be going home so soon, and they definitely didn't plan to go home like this.
Because of the spinal cord injuries, I have been left paralyzed from the waist down.
Okay, and it's going to be that way? Or?
They're talking about it being permanent, but I have a lot more hope than that.
On September 9th, Ryan and Christine were driving to Fort St. John in northern BC. That's when their lives took an unexpected turn.
We rolled, she got thrown, and that's basically it. You know, life changes in a matter of seconds.
They were airlifted to the Royal Alex. Ryan came out unscathed, but Christine suffered broken femur, ribs, and vertebrae.
Obviously, when I first got the news, it was a little traumatic. I was stressed. I was also in a lot more pain. I'm doing a lot better than I was when they told me, and I've had a lot of time to sort of come to terms with things.
Their families came to visit the first week after the accident, but it's been just the two of them since. Now they're looking for help to get home.
Not that I'm not getting great care here, but obviously there's a lot more to be said having your whole family and friends, your support system behind you.
The price tag for the flight and out-of-province coverage is $8,000. With the help of the Global Angel organization, they've raised about half of that. The couple hopes to have the rest in time for Thanksgiving.
My dad's birthday is right before Thanksgiving, so getting home then would just be amazing. Having family to support me it means more than I could ever explain.
She's more strong than I ever could have imagined, and I just didn't know someone could be this strong in general, you know, and she's amazing. And we'll get through it, you know, no matter what. We will persevere, and we will fight.
Andrew Ng, City News.
If you'd like to help out Christine and Ryan, head to globalangelcharity.com and look for Christine's story. The NDP got the breakthrough they were looking for. Leader Brian Mason and Rachel Notley were easily re-elected. They will be joined by two more in their caucus, though they'll need a bigger office. Andrew Ng reports.
Brian Mason called themselves the Four Horsemen of the Tory Apocalypse. The NDP doubled the number of MLAs entering the legislature, and they've regained official party status.
Albertans can count on New Democrats to work in the new legislature to be constructive, responsible, and focused on the issues that matter to average Alberta families. Exactly what they saw from us in the campaign.
David Eggen is going back to the House. The former director of Friends of Medicare won Edmonton Calder over PC challenger Bev Essinger. Eggen was first elected in 2004.
I worked as a fairly high-profile MLA and then as a health advocate across the province, and so people knew what I stood for. They knew what they were going to get.
The NDP also picked up the seat in Edmonton Beverly Clairview. Darren Billis took down incumbent PC Tony Vandermeer by 272 votes.
My team and I have knocked on over 25,000 doors, and a lot of people in the community said they wanted a more active, a more visible MLA, and someone who's going to stand up on their behalf. Mason and Rachel Notley easily held on to their seats, and the NDP share of the popular vote rose to nearly 10%. But it didn't translate into as many seats as they wanted. There's also some disappointment the party won't hold the balance of power in a minority government.
We would have certainly been in a much stronger position to get some of the things that we believe are important for Albertans that we talked about in this campaign. But we're going to continue to fight for those things nonetheless.
Still, the party says it's on the rise. They will be stronger with more members sitting in the legislature.
We'll be more effective as a caucus, I think, because of the increased number and because of the resources that comes with that.
We're expressing the views of the future of how we build a stronger Alberta and a stronger country too. And so we're not unreasonable, we're very moderate, and I think people are looking for something like that in the future.
Andrew Ng, City News.